What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts unsolicited, nobody cares, but I care, and MeloRoze cares. Ain't that right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, like I said, I have MeloRoze with me live. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me. Now, this is a very special moment because this is my first video. So the first time I've recorded my show on video. So it's going to go either one or two ways. I always like to say I have a face for radio. So, so, so the success or failure of this show is all going to be on you because I know I look like a beast, but you're beautiful. So,
Oh, thank you.
so how you been? How you been, Melrose?
I've been pretty good. Been super busy, so yeah.
Good, good, good. Busy is always good. So, for my subscribers out there, MeloRoze is a recording artist based out of where you based out of again?
I'm in Nashville, but I'm from Atlanta.
That's right. Okay, all right. All right. She's in Nashville, but based out of Atlanta, and she was on the show a few months ago, and we talked about a lot of things. We listened to your latest single, and I just want to kind of get everybody up to date on everything that's going on with you right now. So what has happened over the last few months, being quarantined and everything? Once again, as a musical artist, getting your career on solid footing and everything. So how's this pandemic now, since the last time we talked, how's the pandemic affecting your ability to market yourself and to do what you do?
Yeah, well, the last time we talked, I was very kind of confused and stuck on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it because, I had so many plans and I feel like that whole thing kind of stopped my planning. And I think everybody went through a phase where they kind of didn't know what to do and they kind of just like took a pause and like whether that was just like sleeping more than usual or just kind of stepping away from the things they normally do. And I feel like that's what happened for me in the beginning. I definitely wasn't writing as much. I definitely felt uninspired, all of those things. But recently, watching other artists and other people that I look up to, I saw them kind of making do with what they could. And people were coming up with all kinds of crazy ideas based off of the situation because they had no choice. So they were trying to figure out different ways to do what they love to do in a new world. And I saw that and that made me more inspired. So I got back into writing. I got back into doing all of those things. And I don't know, just lately I just feel more of a drive. Like this has to be the time I do it now because, it, other things can happen in the future, but I can't let this stop me from doing what I love to do. And if anything, I had a little bit more time to really do it. Whereas before, like everybody just had everything to do and there was kind of a time to kind of just like pause and like rethink stuff. So yeah, I think I'm in that like really like that driving phase right now, just ready to attack everything, hands on, no matter what. So highly inspired right now.
Good, good. That's good to know. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and just assume that everything that's been going on in the world, the pandemic and everything, and quarantines and everything has broken a lot of artists. I'm sure a lot of folks have kind of fallen by the wayside in this industry because A, they don't know how to cope with it. B, it's thrown a monkey wrench in their program financially, ability to get there and make money and gig and things of that nature. Obviously, I'm sure the industry has basically ground to a halt. I guess it kind of goes to show that this is a business that's not made for the weak-hearted or the weak-minded. So that being said, how do you push through that, and how do you keep that motivation going in light of everything else that's going on? Where are you drawing your inspiration and motivation from the most?
Honestly, it's not just something that I want to do, but it's a hobby too for me, and that is how I cope and just in general. And I think sometimes artists can get into the mindset where it is a job, so they're so focused on writing the best songs and having these hit records and all those things that sometimes you forget, like it's your hobby, it's your passion too. So I kind of like thought in that way, like obviously I do want to make great songs, I do, this is my job, but at the same time it's something that I love to do, and it's something that before this was even thought of as a job, it's something that I did for fun, it's something that helped me express myself, it's something that helped me organize my thoughts and understand myself. So that's definitely one way that I kind of push through it. Another way is, I mean, things are gonna always get in the way. That's really hard. That's gonna like stop all your plans and things like that. But just like any other job, people still have to get up and go to work and make things happen. And so I treat this as it's a job, and this is the job that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I need to push through and invest my time in this so that I'm not having to do something that I don't want to do because I decided to sit back and not, put my all into something despite like things that were happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
anything, I treat it like a job now because it is, so, and you got to keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. I'm thinking for the future, not really in the now, which is different for some people, but I'm very future driven. So whatever I do now is very, very important for that. So I think that's why I kind of like pushed myself through that. Yeah, and I saw other artists doing it too. They were making it work. Like I said, I feel like everyone had a little phase where they just didn't know what to do, but they ultimately realized like, I have to get back into this somehow, some way, and learn how to deal with it.
So that being said, your collaborators, your producers, the people that you make music with, did you find yourself having to motivate them or give them your energy and trying to keep them motivated as well, or is everybody in your circle on that same wavelength right now?
Yes. Actually, yeah, my producer and I got on the phone multiple times, and we were sharing about how we were both kind of out of touch a little bit, and then we were like, okay, let's get back in it. Like we said we were gonna do this, so let's get back to it. And one of us would kind of slow down a little bit, and we'd hit each other up to kind of check in and like, hey, are you still in this? Like, I'm sending you this. Like, let me keep you inspired. So. He and I definitely did that a lot, going back and forth with that. I also encouraged some other friends who are recording artists as well. They had a second where they, just kind of just took a break, kind of like, was trying to deal with everything. And when we came together and we wrote together, then it's like, okay, you're inspired again. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm meant to do. So let's get back into it. So yeah, I think everybody was out of touch and then back in it. And then you just have to encourage each other because everyone was separated and like, it was just very different for everybody. So staying in contact and doing things like, Zoom, FaceTime calls, all this stuff was crucial. I think especially for artists, because our minds are different. And so we need encouragement, especially from people who understand and do what we do, because I don't think I don't think just anybody can understand the mind of a creative sometimes when you feel like, when you're in those low moments and like you kind of you check out, you need another creative, I feel like, to help build you back up and inspire you.
So that being said, are you finding yourself in I guess in moments of heightened creativity, or are you having to funnel those energies from other parts into your music? Just how I guess when it comes to making music, I'm assuming, since I'm not a musical artist per se, I assume that when you draw your motivation, you have to kind of ride that crest until you create whatever it is that is inside of you at that moment. So when you're in a situation like this, something that no one has ever had to deal with before, as a creative person, do you find yourself in a lull, or I mean, once you get going, is it still flowing out of you, or are you having these lapses? Just kind of explain, just from the inner creativity side, how you put all this together and keep it moving in a positive direction.
Um, well, I do feel really, really low sometimes about everything, but I think that's what makes the best music, honestly, for me. So I don't necessarily um, have to be in that mood to do anything like that. I feel like I wasn't feeling creative because, you know, I'm not able to go out in the world and experience things and be around people and create stories and things like that. But still though, I think I always have music in me. It's hard to explain. So it's, for me, it was resistance, I think, more than anything. It was the excuses for why I can't sit down and do this, why I'm not, you know, coming up with these ideas, just all these excuses as to why, more so than anything. Because I feel like the creativity is there. I have songs, I have so many voice memos and things I needed to get to. It was just, like I said, massive resistance. And I've found recently that I wasn't the only one going through that, but a lot of other young artists that I'm meeting through school and things like that, they were going through the same thing. Like, it's not that I wasn't having these creative ideas, I was just making all these excuses as to why I can't sit down and do it, or all these distractions. I was letting things distract me from doing what I needed to do. So I think that's really what it was.
Okay, that being said, of course, the last time we talked, we listened to your single "No Patience." So here we are once again, a few months later. How did that experience with "No Patience" work out for you, and what did you learn from it? And what's the positive that you've taken away from it, and what are the negatives that you think you need to improve on when it comes to your work being in the mainstream the way "No Patience" is?
Mhm. Yeah, that was a really dope record, and I received a lot of positive feedback from it from all ends, people I didn't know, then family and friends. I think for sure what I want to improve on in the future, and just, you know, what I can give advice to other artists, is having more of a strategic marketing plan. Um, the song, it was released when I kind of like uploaded it to be released through the distribution. It wasn't ahead enough. It wasn't, you know, I didn't allot time for that as much as I should have, because I was learning that there are so many more things that I could have done to push this song out there to a wider audience with that. There's even a chance that you can submit your song to a Spotify playlist if it's um, done in a certain amount of time, that space. And I found that out later. And so wasn't able to do that. Um, Also, having your lyrics ready for fans when you release a song, kind of staying on it, and, you know, doing a lyric video or posting a link on Genius with your lyrics up there, because a lot of artists don't know, but you can do that yourself. You don't need to pay anybody, but you can actually upload your own lyrics to Genius yourself. So things like that, definitely. My producer and I were talking about different ways we could have better marketed the song. I think it was my first release, so I look back and I'm like, dang, there was a lot I could have done better, even with submitting it to BMI and my publishing and my producer and the co-producers publishing, just like ahead of time, so that, you know, we can like keep track of that stuff and the royalties and things that come from that. So um, definitely, but that was, again, back to the really low period phase, that phase. It was like after that song, it was released, I think, in March. But after that song, it was like May, I'm sorry, May, but it was during that time when it was like, I just, the song was out there and I'm like, hey guys, like, go listen to it, but you got to do more than that. And I kind of checked out, and I missed that entire period of where I could have really done more to push that song. But the song did, it did make the radio in California, on their the Heat radio station. So that was a really good thing that happened from it. But yeah, in the future, I have better marketing tactics that I'm gonna use to help promote this song, because it's a good song and I feel like more people should have heard it. But it's not too late, because with things in the future, it's always gonna be out there, so people are gonna find it.
So that being said, so what's the hot track that you have now that's ready for distribution, or you kind of holding on to some stuff for later, or is something that you're ready to kind of drop right now, or okay, how's that going for you?
Yeah, it's going really good. I think I'm gonna try to release one more song before the first single of the EP, which is coming out next year. That's the hot song that everybody's gonna be like, whoa, this is different. It's definitely totally different than No Patience. It's more of it's a real cool hip hop vibe. We actually just started rehearsals today for the music video. So that song will be dropping sometime in October, and a video will follow right after that. So that's the one I'm excited for. I think everyone's gonna be excited for that one. I think people are gonna have fun with this one.
Can you give us any details at all about the song? Can you give us a title or anything you want
Yes,
to share right
yes,
now?
absolutely. The title is called Think About It. It's called Think About It. And basically, it's a song that is going to make people really feel themselves. They're gonna really feel themselves. And it's one of those, like, I'm here, like nobody can mess with me, like this is what it is, this is who I am. I'm intuitive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talented. It's a real boosty type of song. Like, it's gonna make anybody that listens to it and sings along to it, like, really feel like, the queen or the kings that they are. It's just gonna make them feel like it's one of them lit songs. It's gonna make them feel good. Like, yeah, okay, I feel what she's saying. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now for the tough stuff. Let me toss a tough one at you. I know a lot of artists out here have been asked this question, so I'm going to ask it to you. I'll try to be gentle, but with everything that's been going on in the world, with the social movement out there, Black Lives Matter, and all these things have been going on. Now, as an artist, do you feel a responsibility as an artist to address these issues in your music? Be
Uh,
honest.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's something that's very important to me, and I actually did write a song on that. That song is on YouTube. It's with a video that I made as well, addressing everything. Um, I think it's important. We have voices, and people look up to us, and I think that music is another language of expression. So that's a way that I feel like we should be using that to talk about these things, because it's highly important. People are looking to us, so when we're quiet, it just seems like, does it matter to you? Because we're more than musicians. People look at artists as idols, people that, people are saying that, your music got me out of this, your music got me out of that. When I listen to this person, they make me feel this way. So I don't think it's good to just, stick to the music stuff and be afraid to address things like that, because people are looking to you and they're watching. And I've seen these things, and I've seen people, a little bit confused or upset that this person, they make music like this, and they dress like this, and they act like this, but when it comes to this, they don't say anything. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so if you can do this, then why is this is something that you can talk about? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to sound a certain way, but I feel like if, especially if you're Black, that you should be saying something if you're an artist, because that's important. These things can happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that being said, once again, as an artist who's just starting out on her career, hopefully, which will be definitely be a lifelong career, um, do you find yourself being concerned that if you do take a social stance in regards to today's social climate, that it may segment or cut you off from a certain audience? That, and obviously, if you are cut off from a certain demographic, it could potentially hurt your bottom line as an artist. Is that something that concerns you, or is that something that you've even discussed with your team or anything like that? And how you kind of walk that line between your responsibilities as an artist, as a black artist, but also wanting the need to appeal to a wide demographic so that your career can expand, and reach the highest heights. So how do you navigate that, or is this something that you've even really kind of touched on or thought about yet?
No, I've definitely thought about that, and honestly,
And what can you do as an artist to make sure that you do appeal to all demographics while staying true to your social responsibilities?
yeah, so I make music for everybody. I love everybody. So I definitely want to see all kinds of people, listening to me and wanting to be a part of my journey and be a melomaniac, as I call them. Like I want to see all colors, all everybody. But at the same time, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hide how I feel about certain things, and I feel like that's something that I'm gonna be open about, especially in that sense. There are some things that there are some things that I maybe won't discuss, but that right there is very important. And no, I'm not afraid that I'm gonna lose anybody from that because, frankly, I don't know if I really want um, I don't know if I really want anybody just around me, period, who doesn't understand that or at least sympathize with that in any kind of way, because I don't feel like it's wrong that I have that opinion. That's something that I'm going to be extremely open about. I think it's important. And I'm not going to change kind of like anything that I believe in to appeal to any demographic, because I feel like the music is the music. And if that should be what's bringing people together. Everybody has a difference of opinion. So that's something that I'm going to be very open about, because that's who I am. That's a part of who I am. That is me. That is me. So um, I can't, I can't hide any part of me to make other people feel comfortable, if that makes sense, because then I'm losing comfortability myself.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, whoops. Hey, it's live. What can I say? Our time's not up quite yet, though. Okay, and I lost my train of thought, but it's coming back. Now, that being said, are you looking? Are you ready to gig? And what's coming up in the next couple of months? Are you in a position where you think you're ready to get out there and start trying to gig, try to put something together? I know once everything opens back up, there's going to be like a flood of people trying to get back out there and everything. So, are you positioning yourself to be seen live in open venues? And what kind of moves are you making on that end?
Yeah, I definitely want to get out there doing some live shows and things. There are some things here in Nashville too that I'm gonna try to take advantage of. There's a lot of country here, but I think I'm just gonna still get out there and just do what I do, because there's somebody out there who wants to hear something different. So I want to be that difference that they see here. I also really think it's dope how artists are doing kind of live virtual shows. So yeah, if anything, I think I kind of want to start with that first, because I can kind of like design that how I want to do that. I think that would be a really cool first step for me. But I definitely want to get out there live. That's always been my dream, is to really perform in front of a bunch of people, to feel their energy. So I definitely want to do that. Um,
Okay. Now, this will be the most important question of the evening. Okay, and this is a question that is a hot topic in the Black community. So I want you to be careful with your answer. Okay, because everybody's listening. I'm listening. Everybody's watching. So I need the best answer. I need the most honest answer possible. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Flats or drums?
Flats.
No, wrong
All
answer.
day.
Wrong answer.
All
Wrong
day.
answer.
Flats all day.
Wrong answer. Why is it that women like flats and guys like drums?
Because it's like the drums got so much goo on it. Like the flats are just like so easy to just peel off, just like dig into. Way easier.
I don't agree. But women love flats, guys love drums, and I guess that's just the way it's going to be. So you failed on that answer. Drums all day long.
The women get me though. It's flats all day.
All right. Well, I gotta respect the answer. You were honest about it. It's not the answer I wanted to hear, but okay, I'll accept that. All right. I'll accept that. All right. So, anything else you want to add before we shove off?
Yeah. Follow me at Melo_Savage with 2 G's if you haven't already.
That's right.
Also, again, I have the first single from the EP coming out next month with a video. EP should be here next year. Really look out for that. It's gonna be some heat. I want to shout out people. Can I do that?
Oh, absolutely. Do your thing.
Shout out my dad, Trenton, who's my manager.
Trent.
He's done a lot. He's done a whole lot, though I give him a hard time sometimes. He's done a lot. Shout out to my producer, Justin in Atlanta. Shout out to you. Done a lot for me so far. I want to shout out to one of my favorite rappers in LA, Mike Terrell, who's going to be a feature on my EP. Super excited about that. So thank you for giving me a chance and thank you for believing in me. Thank you to my sister, Caitlin Aaliyah. She does my makeup. She keeps me sane. She's a part of the team. She's amazing. Shout out to my mom in heaven. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for supporting me. I hope you guys jump on this journey with me because it's gonna be lit. A lot's gonna be happening. So.
Okay, so you heard it here first. MeloRoze, she's back in the saddle. The pandemic didn't kill her, so she's COVID-19 negative.
Oh, and thank you too. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. It's fun. I hope we can do it again real soon. So okay, finally, you got something to share with us. So I know you got a single that we're gonna go ahead and play for my audience. So tell us a little bit about it, so we can go ahead and close out. And I'm sure it's lit. So introduce it.
Yeah, this track is called Decisions. It's a track I originally wrote as a pitch for Rihanna, but it's very spicy. It's very different. So I hope y'all like it.
All right, so Decisions. MeloRoze, once again, thank you so much for taking time out. Much continued success to you, and we'll be talking again real soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
J Minor.
Let's have some fun, I'll think about it. Light me a blunt more than one. Say I don't wanna talk about it. Adopting a separate thing, course still it runs. You feel away, babe, you feel away. No changing labels on anything, staying unclaimed, yeah. Now ask me for it, I know it. Don't kill the vibe, we're feeling like no commitments, just a good time. Waging war with the Lord tonight, whoa. The cops are coming, but me feel alive. Real talk, but I ask for some distance. savage, don't need anyone. Diamonds, I put diamonds, even pearls, go get you some work. Give him the gift for the day, work. Blessing and take it away. No cuffs, but me still with the chains. Real talk, let it